women will feel more secure, more open. A healthy woman, okay, a ready woman will feel more secure, more open, more ready to be vulnerable with you if they know where your mind's at. If you come off as uncertain, unclear, you're not really sure, you're still figuring it out, you have set her back. So in not being clear about what it is that you want in relationship, you set her back from being able to be vulnerable with you, open with you, to lean into you.
Hey y'all, welcome to Boundaries and Grace.
Hey y'all, my name's Taylor Chandler. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist helping you break negative relationship patterns. Let's get into it. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Hi. So we got 5 questions to ask before date number 3. Couple little updates, y'all. It's been like 7 weeks since I've been on Instagram, and I've loved it. I'm still seeing my one-on-one clients. They're doing great. Y'all, if you have not read the reviews, read them. My clients are doing great. I'm still taking one-on-one clients. Y'all are still filling out the one-on-one form, the interest form. I'm reaching out, so I still have room for more people. People are completing the program, so we're in a good flow. So if you're interested in doing one-on-ones, reach out. Thanks for asking. Life's been treating me very well. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And it's been a while since I've been on Instagram, so I'm checking in. We're going to do something pretty, I'm going to say it was pretty light. Like, it's not going to be anything too crazy. 5 questions to ask before date number 3, because I got to get warmed back up. And whenever I take a break off of Instagram, it always just takes me a minute to feel warmed back up. So I'm going to start with something kind of, let's call it light. Are y'all dating? And I'm a very much call and response. I'm a very much a feedback person. So I love to see your comments. I love to see the little hearts. Like, that really helps me a lot. And I want to know, are you dating? Most of my clients, while you're answering that question, most of my clients are single for different reasons. Okay. So most of my clients, not all, most of my clients are single for different reasons. Some have just got out of relationships and they're looking to heal. Okay, so they can get themselves together. Most of the time that comes with, I just got out of a relationship and I never want what just happened to me to happen again. Has that been anybody in this room? Okay, has that been anybody in this room? I just got out of a relationship and whatever happened, I just don't want it to happen again. So how can we fix this? I love that. People who are single because they've just been single for a long time, but they want a relationship. Maybe they weren't focused on it, or they're realizing that it's something that's really important to them. Thank you for the hearts. I love that. It's something that's really important to them, and they want to figure out how to get back into the dating scene effectively. Some have been divorced, and they are looking to get back in, ready to see what's going on. So a variety of reasons why people are single. And then there are some that are in relationships that I see individually, and some that are in relationships that I see as a couple. Some that are in relationships that I see as individuals and couples. So it's a lot of different types of situations that are going on. This particular live is for people who are single and looking to date. And I want to give you 5 questions to ask before the 3rd date. Okay. Hey, Maureen. You're dating. Is anybody else in here dating or looking to date? And I'll also put this out here. Let me give you option C. Has anyone just given up on dating, but you're just here for the kicks? Like, you don't, you're just like, I've been dating and I'm about tired. And I'm about done. Okay. I talk to a lot of people like that. Tired. Thanks, B. Nice to see you. Thank you. Glad to be back. People are just tired of dating. It's really been a mess. A little note on social media right now. And I promise you, y'all, we will get into the questions, but I like to have a little warm up. Hey, Charlie. Social media has made dating so much worse. Okay. It's just made it so much worse. Yeah, hashtag Stacy, hashtag tired is what she said. Okay, I think social media, B, thanks for buying a badge. Thanks for your support. Social media, I think, has made dating so much worse for so many reasons. I don't even know where to start. I don't want this to be a ranting live, but at this point, there is so much content about dating and relationships that it's become a cluster. A cluster. It's a mess. You're getting there's a lot of toxic information, and the reasonable voices are drowned out. The internet is a place for clowns. This is a circus show. This is a circus show. That's another reason why, there was some other things going on, all positive things, all good things, right? Why I was not on Instagram. But one other reason why it was not hard to get off or stay off is because the internet is a circus show. It is a place for clowns to gather, to be in community. This is a ridiculous place, the World Wide Web. Okay. See, when we were in school, when you were in elementary school or so, if you're around my age, you were in elementary school, all we had was Ask Jeeves. That was it. Ain't no Ask Jeeves. Okay. You had a question, Ask Jeeves. Get your answer. That's it. Ain't nothing else going on. Okay. Ain't nothing else going on. Make sure you don't do that little clicky thing with the floppy disk. That's it. That's the only risk. Now it's a different time. Okay, it's a different time. Now you got ask everybody and their mama what they think. And a lot of people, listen, I want y'all to, I told y'all I did not want this to be a ranting live, but I feel a little bit warmed up. Okay, I feel like I got a couple things to say. Social media has made dating trash. It has lit this whole male versus female thing on fire, which is so weird. Okay, this whole woman, we're supposed to be battling it out is weird as hell. Okay. And it's not, the thing is, I just got to say this and we got to move on. The thing is this, it's not men dragging things down. It's not women dragging things down as a gender. Don't be silly. Seriously, can we just say, don't be silly. It's a whole gender that's just dragging us to hell. No, it's dumb people. I'm sorry, I did not mean to do this early. See, I'm gonna come to that. Let me screenshot it. Don't put something in here. I'm gonna screenshot. It's dumb people. It's ignorant people. Okay, it's dumb. It's always been the ratchets. It's always been the ratchets that drag something to hell. Trashy people will make anything trash. That's why you got to try to keep them out. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm serious. The ratchets, the bottom of the barrel. Okay. They've always been around. Okay. Now they just have cameras. Okay. Just got cameras on them. But it's not men that are messing everything up. It's not women that are messing everything up as a gender. It's dumb people. It's ignorant people. I'm watching my language. But I just needed to say that and get that off of my chest. Now let's come back here. Not the floppy disk. That's right. Dial tone. Look, that was one of you had about 3 problems. Don't mess up that little floppy disk. Don't pick up the phone when somebody's trying to get on the internet. Don't do that. Okay. And keep that little plastic piece nice and snug in the computer. They used to really call it a CPU for real. Oh, that Rican. Okay. 33 said, the way most women are today, I'd rather be single for the rest of my life, rather be lonely instead of unloved. And it's a sad situation. I'm not even mad at you. I'm not mad at you for the comment. I'm not. Because this is a lot of people, okay? And women are saying this about men. Men are saying this about women. People are like, I would rather be alone than deal with this. Truly, it's the I can do bad all by myself come to life. Like it's really reality right now. And it's a sad situation. Because a healthy, positive relationship, I think, is like the best thing that you could have in your life. And it's so sad that this state of affairs has made people just say, you know what, I would just rather not. Okay. Now, let's be honest. Social media is exacerbating the issue because it's highlighting the negative. The healthy people, ethical people, reasonable people are staying out the way. You do not have a bunch of healthy, reasonable, ethical. Thanks. Hey, Ethan. Thank you. I appreciate you dropping in. You don't want to have a bunch of reasonable, ethical, healthy people recording themselves talking about this is how good I got it. Like everything is fine. And if we did do it, you wouldn't watch it. People wouldn't watch it anyway. Why? Because the world has always loved a train wreck. They've always loved a train wreck. It's nothing new. Okay. It's nothing new. The world has always loved a train wreck. So you do not have a bunch of healthy, happy, reasonable, ethical people making a whole bunch of content online because they staying out the way. And honestly, I get it. I get it. I'm like, why would I love my life. Okay. Why would I'm like, it took me a minute to get back on here. I was like, why would I get back on this Instagram, which is such a toxic place? I get on here trying to help people. I still got to deal with the toxic, with crazy stuff. Not as bad as some people because my content is pretty, I mean, it's really not that crazy. Right. But anytime I say man or woman, it's a problem. Anyway, so you get on here try to help people and you can't because the clowns drown out the reasonable people. Now, I will say this, then I promise you I'm going to get into this first question. I had to get a little bit of things off my chest. It's been a while since I've been here. You definitely get engagement for divisive content. When I started talking about man, woman stuff, any kind of gender stuff, my engagement went exponentially higher than when I'm just talking about attachment, which is the most important thing you can know for healing your relationships. I gave the most important information for relationships from a therapeutic standpoint. I was giving out hours and hours, hundreds of hours of content. Not until you talk about man, woman, and put it in that kind of frame that you get any kind of engagement. It's sad. Now, again, I'm going to say this last thing, then I'm going to get into the 5 questions to ask before date number 3. Y'all, healthy, positive, ethical people, please start saying something. Now, I know that sometimes you might just say hear something, see something, and you're just like, that makes sense. And then you just pass it on by. It makes a difference, y'all. It makes a difference, not just for me, but for other people who are trying to be helpful. It makes a difference when you do comment on it, when you do, if you want to get a little clap back off your chest and respond to someone that's not making any sense with a little bit of sense. We really appreciate that. So we're not trying to fight off all of the clowns on our own. It's not your job to do it. I'm just saying we definitely appreciate you when you do it. Is that okay? Can just try it. Can you just try it, like, to engage a little bit more for the healthy people, for the people that are actually trying to do something positive? Okay. I'm not saying get into any internet fights, but thank you. I'm not saying get into any internet fights and such, don't do all that, but we could do a better job at being more vocal because the clown's always going to be most vocal. Or at least they are right now. And it's always the most ignorant, immature, ungrounded, silly people that are the loudest. And they're kind of fun to watch sometimes because, again, the world loves a train wreck. They're kind of interesting to watch because you're like, because I'll be watching stuff like, I cannot believe there are people out here like that. I've been seeing that pop the balloon stuff. I'm like, I can't even believe this exists. This is crazy. People are really out here. This is actually happening. And I'm telling you, I've seen the clips and they're, some of the most excitable people are the dumbest ones. And that's the problem. Anyway, let's get into the actual episode. 5 questions to ask before date 3. Number 1, what are you looking for? Okay, I've heard this so many times. I cannot count how many times I've heard that seems like a question that you can't ask that you can't ask early, or it seems like it's going to scare somebody off. The thing is, though, serious people are looking for serious people. You should know what somebody's looking for before date number 3. Matter of fact, before you even go out, before you even go on a date, you should know what somebody's looking for. Understand this, y'all. There is a difference between asking someone what their relationship goals are and what they want their goal to be with you. Hey, Gabriella, I was just thinking about you. Been thinking about you. There is a difference between asking someone what their goals are and what their goal is, what their intention is with you. When you're asking someone what they're looking for, you're not asking, do you see that with me? You shouldn't be before date 3. They don't know you like that, right? Well, if you're asking someone, what are they looking for? That's about them. You're not asking, what do you see in me? Am I your wife? That's not am I your husband? That's not what you're asking. You're asking, what are you looking for? Because a lot of people are on dating apps, right? And these are questions you could ask in the messages before you even go out. Do y'all ask that question before date number 3? Anybody? Does anybody think that that's too soon? What are you looking for? And listen, So again, not a weird question for serious people. And if you want marriage, it's like sometimes people who want a serious, long-term, healthy relationship or want marriage are like afraid to say it. If you're embarrassed, listen. This is just for anything. If you're embarrassed to say that's what I want, then you don't deserve it. Oh, I didn't mean, I was going to not say it. I tried to stop it in my throat. If you are embarrassed to say that you want a serious, healthy, long-term relationship, you just don't deserve it. You should be proud of that. We're talking about the people who should be embarrassed are the people out here acting absolutely silly, ridiculous clowns. I'm trying to watch my language, seriously. I'm really trying to slow myself down. The people who should be embarrassed are people who waste their time or other people's time. That's embarrassing. Your time is your life. That's embarrassing. To just be tricking off everyone some casual stuff. That's embarrassing. To be HOEing around. That's embarrassing. It is not at all embarrassing. You should be able to say that confidently. And if you're not used to saying it, you need to say it, Brother Carl. Hey, you need to say it to yourself. If you have never confidently said, I want a healthy, long-term relationship that leads to marriage. I want to be married. I want a healthy, happy family. If you've never said that out loud, you only think it, you only can put it on a vision board, but you can't put it into words. I want you to say it to yourself. I'm talking about get in the mirror and say it. Record yourself, say it. Because I'm telling you, I don't know how many times I've had to do this with a client to be like, say it to me. And it's, but it's all you want. It's all you've been looking for. It's all you've been getting into these weird situationships, trying to figure out why it won't turn into something. And now you want to fix it, but you can't even say it. And then I'm like, say it to me. And giggling and okay, but we gotta work to a place where you can say that like it's the truth, because it is. If you embarrassed to say it, you want to keep it to yourself. Why would somebody want to join in on you? You out there with a shaky boat, like I don't know if I want to get it. Who gonna get in that boat with you? I'm not. What? You don't even sound sure. You can't even say it, but you want me to come with you? Absolutely not. That sounds crazy. Anyway, y'all got it? Y'all got it? You should know what somebody's looking for. You should be able to say it. And if you haven't been saying it, say it first to yourself. How does it sound? Does it sound grounded, confident, clear, concise? Talking about I want a relationship, and people can give you all kinds of relationships. People can give you all kinds of relationships. What kind of relationship do you want? And you need to be able to say it. It's not a weird question for serious people. I think Alexandra said, let me see. She said she asked it early. It's not weird. It helps you weed out people that aren't on the same page. Win-win. There it is. One problem is some men will want that, but they may not want it with the person they're starting to date. When it's the right person, I say it with my chest. Well, how do you know that if it's the right person at the beginning? So let me actually cut to the chase here with that point, because it's like, well, he said some men will want that, but they might not want it with the person they're starting to date. But it's not an absolute no, right? Listen, when you plant seeds of doubt in someone's mind, that's called self-sabotage. If I know that I want a healthy long-term relationship that leads to marriage, and I tell the person because I'm not sure about where they're at yet, I'm not sure about them, not sure about what our chemistry is yet, and I say, well, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. You have put a seed of doubt in their mind. Why not just be clear about what it is that you want? I think that men should understand this. I don't want to do this whole men-woman thing, but I will. Because he put it in men, he gave me a man statement, so I'm going to go ahead and use that, okay? I want men to understand this. Women will feel more secure, a healthy woman, okay, a ready woman, will feel more secure, more open, more ready to be vulnerable with you if they know where your mind's at. But if you come off as uncertain, unclear, you're not really sure, you're still figuring it out, you have set her back. You have set her back. So in not being clear about what it is that you want in relationship, you set her back from being able to be vulnerable with you, open with you, to lean into you. Women, am I lying? Is that not accurate? You gotta stop playing. Everybody gotta stop playing games. Okay? And listen, and this is what you can call it. This is how we can frame this. Hedging yourself. Hedging. It's like you don't want to gamble like that. I might open myself up to someone, or I might lead them on or something, and I want to I might be interested in this person, but I'm not sure how they feel about me. I want to hedge. Like, I want to give a little space between, because I'm not really sure. Maybe I'm feeling like maybe I'm not their type, and now I'm not giving them very clear, confident answers. Okay, and I'm hedging because I'm not sure which way this is gonna go. And we got a whole bunch of people hedging their bet because it's like, I don't want to put my eggs into this basket. I don't want to come off like I really would like it with you. And so I'm hedging, and it's set, and whether it's man or woman, okay, I put it in man terms because he gave me man. But whether it's man or woman, when you are hedging and you're talking with someone who is serious and they want someone who they can feel safe and secure with, you're going in the same direction eventually, right? We're not talking about that, it's date 2. It's not all of that. But even that's what they're looking for. And you're hedging. It's like, I don't feel safe. I just don't feel safe. Men need to feel safe too. Women, when you're like, well, I'm dating, but you're sitting across from a man who stands out. Okay. You're sitting across from a man. You want him to choose you. Okay. Come on, be for real. Okay. You sitting across from a man. You're like, I hope this thing goes to date 2, date 3. I hope this thing continues on. And you're like, I'm dating around, like, yeah, I've had a really good time with a lot of people, and I'm having a good time tonight. And you're making it seem like just everything else. You hedging. Right, you hedging, and you're setting this man. A man needs to feel safe too. Like, if I invest in you, if I spend time with you, if I give myself to you in whatever kinds of ways, okay, that this is going in a place that I want. It's not going to waste, basically. But you hedging, and the man set back. That's not a cue. Women, listen, that's not a cue for men to try harder. Men are then set back because he has resources he needs to protect too. Not just his money, his time, his attention, his affection, his interest. Okay? His insight, all kinds of stuff. It's not just tangible. It's not just financial. So you're hedging, and it's like, I don't think this don't look safe. And he might not put it into those terms, but that's the experience that you're giving him. This don't look safe, because she looking like she's not really too sure about what she wants, even though she wants it, but she's afraid to say it. She don't seem too sure about what she wants, and she don't seem too sure about me. So why would I push the gas on that? That is a toxic individual who, when you cue to them yellow light or red light, they say, I want green, and they go for it anyway. That's a toxic individual. I went on a while ago talking about applying pressure, and it's used in a real kind of, people can think about that in a real toxic way. You want somebody to apply pressure. You gave them yellow light. You told them slow down, and you want them to slam the accelerator and go green. You're looking for something that we don't do. Over it. We don't, I don't advise it. Okay. I don't advise it, because you playing. Okay. Because you really playing. And then you're surprised when somebody backs off because that was the guy you wanted, but you were hedging. Oh my goodness. I don't want to. Okay. Hey, Rashad. Yes. So I love that question. Am I going to do a mixer? Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Actually, for sure. I'll talk to tell y'all about that stuff another time. But yeah, I'm glad that you asked. I think it would be really good because I like healthy people. I like healthy women, healthy men. And at this point, we just need to work on separating. Okay. I've been about that. I've been about separation. Okay, it's a new brand of segregation. I'm not talking about race, okay? I'm talking about we need to segregate from the unhealthy, toxic people that are playing games. Separate, okay? Let them do what they're doing. Like, we got other stuff to do. I'm really not worried about saving them at all. I'm not the type, okay? I'm not the type to be like, I gotta come get you. I really don't. Because a lot of times they don't even want to be saved anyway. You try to help somebody that don't want to be helped, you going down. Okay? Not I. Not I. Let's go to number 2, y'all. Do you want kids? With that, Do you have kids? Now, women is a whole lot harder to try to hide your kids. Okay, the men. Let's be honest. Y'all gonna be serious today or not? You'll know that sometimes men be hiding kids, right? Y'all know that sometimes because it's not so apparent that they got kids. Sometimes men be hiding them kids. I'm not saying that's every man, right, that has kids, and there are plenty of proud fathers. But y'all, everybody knows somebody. Or okay. We can only grow if we're willing to be honest. Men gotta be honest. Sometimes men be hiding them kids. So not only do you want kids, but do you have kids? All right. And women are capable of maybe holding that line too, but hardly the same as men hiding them kids. So do you want kids? Do you have kids? The reason why I think this is a question you need to ask before date 3 is because, again, this is just like, it's just in the same vein as question number 1. This is a question about just the person in general. You're not asking, do you want kids with me? You're asking, do you want kids? Okay. Now listen, I think if you're 32 and up and looking for someone without kids, good luck. That's what my notes say. Good luck. I can't tell you how many times I told men that I didn't have kids because I got shock and awe that I did not have kids. Now, it's nothing against people who already have kids. I'm just saying you want to know like where someone's at with it. And if you don't have kids and they don't have kids, do they want kids? There are some people, like someone just said up here, that I don't want no kids, especially theirs. He said, I don't want no kids. I saw somebody say with inflation these days, men can't be affording 2 families no more. That's a fact. Can hardly get the bacon and eggs for yourself. What are you talking about? It's like $6 for 12 eggs. This is absolutely insane. And you got 3 kids trying to come over here? Wild. Okay. Let's see. Fortnite is 38 male with no kids. I think that for men is more common. Now I don't know. I'm speculating based on my own experiences. It seems that let's say 30 plus, that men with no kids is more common than women with no kids. Is that match y'all's experience? Hey Jay, hey Rayford. Does that match y'all's experience? This is just speculation. This is from my own experiences. It seems that men above age 30, I'm sure we can look this up on the CDC or something, the census. It seems that men above 30 with no kids is more common than women above 30 with no kids. Okay, I'm seeing that tracks with what your experience is. So whether it's a man or a woman, you want to know if they want kids, because this is something that a person either wants or doesn't want. Maybe they're uncertain. Okay, maybe they're uncertain. But you want to know this on the front end, because don't expect someone to change their mind. If you, hey, it tracks, right? Looking for a match. Okay, Fortnite, I want you to message me. Fortnite's looking for a match. He's 38, male, no kids. Rayfer, it's good to see you. I was going through my files, deleting stuff off of my laptop, and your cover for the podcast, Fruits of the Spirit, came up. I was like, oh, Rayfer. And you must have been your birthday recently, right? Because you're September 2. Don't expect someone to change their mind. If they want kids, don't expect them to change their mind and say that they don't. Ranita, hey. Oh my gosh, I love seeing y'all pop up. If they want kids, don't expect them to change and say that they don't. If they don't want kids, don't expect them to change and say that they do. Don't expect someone to change their mind about kids, although people do change their mind. Upon meeting that person, if you are looking to date and you know that you definitely do or definitely don't want kids, go with what they said. Go with what they said. Let's see. Visual is 29, no kids. I got to let me screenshot this. I need to see everybody that's looking for a match. I need to screenshot and go back on y'all's page and see what's going on. I love that people are looking for matches, because the internet will have you believe that everybody done gave up, and it's not true, okay? It would be very unnatural for everybody to just stop wanting it. It'd be strange. People want matches, but they don't want trash matches. They don't want a trash experience. So I think if you're like, I would rather be single, just say, I want a healthy, happy, loving relationship. Talk from the glass half full. Talking about, let me go on a little mini rant here. Instead of being like, I'd rather be by myself. Ain't nobody out here. Everybody's unserious. Clown. Okay? Speak from what you do want. Your face gonna change. You're gonna stop looking so bitter, old, and sad. You're gonna stop looking bitter, old, and sad. Yeah, we got bitter Brads and bitter Bettys. Start speaking from what you do want. I want a match. I want a healthy, happy, loving match. I want this. Not talking about I don't want that. We already know. Nobody wants that. Damn it. That's nothing new. It's like groundbreaking when people think it's like, oh, you've really taken a stand talking about I don't want trash. I don't want to get cheated on. I don't want to get used. That's everybody, silly. You really stand out when you can talk about what you do want and a confident help from a healthy, happy standpoint. Goodness gracious. Stacy, looks like you might have a match in here. Let's see. Check them out. People are definitely following the wrong people. And, one thing I'm definitely not chasing is internet fame. That's gotta be the worst. It's like, it looks terrible. I would rather I love my little Instagram. I love my little YouTube. I haven't been on YouTube in weeks, 2 months. I would rather have a small group of serious people. I want first class. I want the first class seats. I would rather have a small group of serious people. Okay. I can't even fly economy. I can't. It's cramped for me. It smells different back there. It smelled different back there. It looked different noises. Okay. I don't get the same kind of service. Okay. I don't get the same kind of room. I don't get the same kind of snack options. I don't get the same kind of treatment. I just can't do it. Won't do it. I don't care if it's a 45-minute flight. Don't put me, I'm not getting back there. Not getting back there. I would rather have I want a small, serious group. I would rather have that than a whole bunch of dummies. Because the clowns, it's so distracting. I dislike distractions. Generally speaking, across context, I don't like that. I don't want that. And I don't want that for you in dating and relationships. You've been flying economy. And listen, I don't want to be elitist, right? Let's come out of the metaphor for a second. Let's come out of the plane seats. It's a metaphor, y'all. Metaphor. Okay. I don't want you flying economy in your dating life. It's a whole bunch of people back there. It's a whole bunch of people back there. They doing a whole bunch of stuff because anything goes. Anything kind of goes back there. So I want you to have a smaller, more curated, more quality experience. That's what I want for you. Economy dating. No more economy dating. Comfort plus at the least. At the very least. I don't even want economy daters to even, don't fill out that one-on-one form. Just don't even do it. It's hard. It's too tough to get, it's too tough. This is too tough to deal with you. Y'all be having the most attitude, the most resistance. It's like, dang. That's why you don't try to help them. Just let them. But some people like a little bit of chaos. They like a little bit of anything goes. I can't even be a part of it. All right. Y'all, we getting off track. Okay. Don't expect someone to change their mind about kids. Now, I've heard of instances where a person has said yes and then turned it to a no. Now, we don't know. It could be because they no longer want kids with you after they got to know you. And they talk about, I don't want that anymore. And they leaving out with you. They leaving that part out. Or maybe they never really wanted them. Now, listen, this is real quick because this is a very kind of specific situation. But real quick, I will say this. I think that having conversations about hypothetical kids and parenting can give you an idea of how much someone has really thought about kids, okay? Or how much someone has thought about themselves as a parent. So what does that mean to have hypothetical conversations about kids? Because honestly, y'all, some people really do not have these kind of conversations, or it's an assumption that they make that someone does want kids and they find out that they don't, or someone says yes, they hear a yes, but that person is just saying yes because they think that they're supposed to say yes. Again, this is a very specific situation. But I'll just say this. Having conversations about hypothetical kids, what does that mean? I mean, it means like when you have random conversations about disciplining children, right? Like, what do you think about disciplining children, or how do you think you would discipline your kids? It's things like, oh, you're talking about vacations, and something like, oh, how young is too young to go to Disney World, do you think, for your kids? It's things like, what do you think about eating together as a family? Do you have any thoughts about that? Is that something that you want in the family culture? Okay. It's those are like hypothetical conversations that you would have about kids that, in my opinion, are very natural, but maybe it's unnatural for other people, or you're just not really sure how to bring it up. One, I would just say, let it be natural to you. Like, if you're with this person and kids come up in your mind, or you're thinking about them as a parent and you have a question, just ask it. Okay. Because someone who's thought about kids or themselves as a parent has an answer. Okay. So again, very specific situation. I just wanted to put that out there because I know it's something that people deal with, is this whole, does someone want kids or not? Are they serious? Are they not? They changed their mind. Why did they change? All that kind of stuff. Vigil said, my ex started off no, then changed it to yes. Right. For some people, they're saying no. But what they're saying is, I would have kids what they're saying is, I would have kids if I found the right person, but I don't want to have kids just to have kids. I think that's totally valid. Right. And women understand that a lot more in a deeper way than men, because women are the ones that are having these kids physically. Right. And women are the ones, we know this, that are primarily the custodial parent. Now, why that's the case is a different conversation. We're not going to get into all that today, but we can at least understand that, right? That women are the ones that are physically having the kids, and that women are most often the primary caretaker. So men, I would love for you to get this. Okay. I would love for you to get this part. That if a woman says no, or she has some kind of elongated answer, it can be because she's thinking about the implications of having children with the wrong person, or having children and ending up a single parent, primary single parent. So if you're hearing something like, well, I would have kids, but it would have to be right. But she's thinking about the implications. We got a lot of stuff on the internet talking about someone should be a traditional mother and should just be passionate about motherhood, and that's all she should want to do. Okay. But she's thinking about the implications. So when she doesn't know you or your character or your habits, and you're saying, do you want kids? She's like, I want to make sure I have kids in the right context. And so you might not get a passionate yes. It's a different context for men having children with the wrong person than women having children with the wrong person. Both are negative consequences, but they are different consequences. Third question, when did your last relationship end? When did your last relationship end? And the sub question to that is, how long was it? Because context matters, y'all. Context matters. Context matters. The internet is a place of black and white, where something either is or isn't. If this person got out of a relationship 3 months ago, no way they're healed. But if the relationship was 6 months, it's possible, right? That it's okay. Does that make sense? Like, if someone got out of a relationship 6 months ago, it's definitely been enough time. But if that relationship was 12 years, has it? So context matters. So when did the last relationship end, and how long was that relationship? A 6-month relationship ending 3 months ago isn't too crazy, and they're out dating. That's not too crazy. But if it's a 6-year relationship that ended 3 months ago, that's a little more of a pink flag, red flag. Makes sense? So I want you to ask both of those questions. When did the last relationship end? How long was it? And then you got to do the calculations yourself. If it was a 6-year relationship that ended 2 weeks ago, run the numbers, do, and be like, that's probably too soon. Just go, give it some of that intuition. Okay. Just think about it for a second. No hard and fast rule. And please stop trying to put somebody in a little box. Like, oh, it was a year ago. Well, the internet said that you're definitely good. No, because I also need to know what happened after that time. No hard and fast rules, y'all. If it was 6 months ago, what's happened in the meantime? There's no like black and white rule for this stuff. All of this context gives you good information, and you don't just jump to conclusions, positive or negative conclusions from data points. If someone has been single for years, what's been going on in that time? Have you been dating? Has this person been dating? Have they been truly alone? Were they in school? Were they traveling? Were they working? So look, and then I'll move on. Someone can have been single for 4 years, right? And they're like, oh, I've been single 4 years. I'm ready to get back in there. Are you? Because what's been going on in that 4 years? Why has it been 4 years? Someone can be single for 4 years and be effing people all throughout those 4 years as a single person. So I want you to understand, this is the point. No one data point necessarily means anything. They've been single for a long time. They've been single for a short time. The relationship was this long. The relationship was that long. Nothing necessarily means anything. That's why it's like those little short, like sound bites on the internet don't work for real life. Because you're not understanding the context. You're really not thinking about the information that you're getting. You're taking a point and saying, oh, this must mean that. When there is so much dynamic and gray about relationships and people's decision making that doesn't get explored if you're just applying some black and white rule to it. Next question, how did your last relationship end? Like Dior was saying, what about a relationship that ends abruptly? So let's talk about that. You want to ask, how did the last relationship end? Was it amicable or was it traumatic? I don't think you should use the word traumatic. I think you should gauge whether it's traumatic or not. People are getting real bold with the trauma word and they're just coming out and saying like, have you had any trauma? It's a little jarring. Okay. It's just not really polite. Okay. I don't think you should come out with that. But you can when you ask, how did the last relationship end? You can gauge, again, use your intuition, ask questions. Try to gauge whether this was amicable, and they might use a word like, "Oh, it was amicable. It was simple. We both came to a decision together. It was mutual, or they made a decision, or I made a decision, and it was, and that was that. Was it amicable, or was it something like this, traumatic? Like it was abrupt. So there was a ghosting, or there was something really, something broke it immediately. It wasn't a progression into the pits. It was a abrupt, immediate, catastrophic thing, like someone cheated. I mean, Lord, that's about it. Okay. Someone just changed their mind. Like another person had no idea that they were thinking about, leaving the relationship or they had any issues. Something felt abrupt, sudden, unexpected. Those are things that you could probably categorize under the traumatic umbrella. Okay. Or was it amicable? You want to know how the last relationship ended. Why? Because what they did in the meantime matters. Are y'all following? It's going a little bit. This is Comfort Plus. Okay, we're out of economy. Okay, I realize no economy daters here. We're out of economy. You at least in Comfort Plus here. Is this making sense? Because you want to know how the last relationship ended, because what has happened in the meantime from that day to this date matters. Whatever happened, how that thing ended, and what they've done between that day and this date matters. It informs what should have happened in the meantime. How did that relationship end? If it was amicable, in other words, what we're saying is, if it was amicable, I made a grounded decision, or they're saying it was mutual, or someone made a decision and it was a good decision, and it makes sense that we're no longer together because we were incompatible and we've both decided that this or we both at least understand that this wouldn't make sense. That healing process is a lot less intensive than someone who they got cheated on and now there's a fresh baby out there. Someone just changed their mind. Someone just left. Maybe there's no cheating. Someone just left. Well, that healing process between that day and this date that we're on I should hear some more intensive stuff going on. Some more, some letting go. Maybe there's some forgiving in there. I'm not sure. Okay. Maybe there's some therapy. Maybe there's some reflection, some accountability. I want to know about accountability either way. Like I think some green flags, some green lights that you're going to hear from someone are what role they played in it. Okay. And it doesn't mean that they did something terrible and you should expect to hear that they did something terrible, but just, it might be a matter of, just being able to identify what my role was. I didn't have to do something bad, but in other words, am I just trashing the other person or am I able to put myself in it? We weren't a good fit because of this. The relationship broke down and this person did all of that, but I could see how they were reacting to me. I didn't catch things sooner. I didn't speak up. I didn't, right? I didn't have to do something terrible, but can I, or something hurtful, like blatantly hurtful, but can I acknowledge my part in the relationship breakdown? Basically, the red flag is someone's just trashing the other person. Trashing meaning like I'm putting everything on the other person. I have no idea why they did this or why they broke up with me. It's something wrong with them. There's nothing that I did. No role that I played. That is your big red flag there. So I want to know how did the last relationship end? I want to know what's been happening in the meantime. How'd they handle that breakup? Basically, you're asking what happened next. Was there therapy? Was there an intentional break from dating? Was there a whole lot of dating? Did nothing happen? Did they just take a bunch of trips? They just started to start traveling the world? Like what happened after that? It's going to tell you about their emotional maturity, their processing, their emotional maturity, their growth. So I think that's an important question. All right, last one, y'all. And this, I would say, this is a question that I would ask on the third date or like at the end of the third date. Okay, this is not a first date or second date question. This is at the end of the third date. It is definitely, listen to me, definitely before the fourth date. The question is, what has been your experience of me so far? Basically, you're getting at, have they been reflecting on your time together at all? Do they notice anything about your character or personality traits, or is it just things that you've done together? Have they been thinking about you? Have they been thinking about who you actually are? Are they appreciative of anything? Do they have, or do they have no idea how to answer the question, which tells you a lot? They just along for the ride, okay? Maybe they just want someone to hang out with, spend time with, or they like going on the dates or whatever. But I think that's a good question to ask. And thanks, Jay. What has been your experience of me so far? Okay. I want to hear things about internal things. I want to hear about experiential things. Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel appreciative? Do you feel glad that we met? Or are you just kind of like, I don't know how to answer that question. Or I like what we've been doing together. I like hanging out. That's not enough by the end of the third date. All right, y'all. Thanks for buying a badge. Juanita, really appreciate it. Thanks everyone else for supporting. The podcast is called Boundaries and Grace. It's on Apple, Spotify, Audible. And also, please follow me on YouTube. You can type in I am Taylor Chandler. You'll find me there. Subscribe. And I will see y'all next time.